So again, welcome to my home. It is Saturday evening. It is May 9th, I believe. It is the day before Mother's Day. So my name is Jill, and thank you so much for joining us at Namaste and working with us as we film these videos for you twice a day, and still keep connected as much as we can, even though we're apart. We're still together. So happy Mother's Day to all my moms out there. You're all amazing, and you truly deserve a day, right, all to ourselves tomorrow. So hopefully you get to do something good and your family was creative with that. So let's just start. We're going to start standing today, okay? So I want us just to start. And I threaten you guys with this all the time, that we're going to start doing some dancing sooner or later, okay? Because I like it, and it's fun, and it feels good. So I want you just to find a place wherever you are in your room, in your area, and just start to kind of walk the feet and walk the hands. And just start to let everything start to shake out. Don't be shy, right? Just let it go. Just kind of flobble. That is a technical yoga term too, flobble. I think I just made that one up. So go on and just start to shake out the legs and just kind of get everything moving. Start to kind of just feel the body, feel what's going on in it, okay? Stretch up and kind of just find some fluidity. Maybe even close your eyes. How about that? I invite you to close your eyes. I'm going to close mine so that way I can't see how weird I look on the screen. And just feel the movement rather than kind of focusing on what you may look like. Okay? So just let yourself kind of go for just, I don't know, maybe a minute or so. Just kind of feel good. Let it kind of just happen. Okay? I want you to shake out and squeeze into the hands maybe, and stretch out through the fingers and around the ankles. Shake out the legs. And then come back into stillness. Find a spot. I'm going to come to the top of my mat or thereabout. Come here. Rock front and back in the feet. Feel the toes lift, then feel the heels lift as you revert. Okay? Say hi to Lexi. She's always the one you hear in the back. Hey, bud. Go ahead and close the eyes. Feel where the body is grounded into the earth, okay? Feel where your stance is. Feel all of those places on your feet. I know on Tuesday in class we were talking about our root chakra and our foundation. So that's always so important, because when we work our postures, we're always coming from the ground up, okay? So feel stable. Allow the hands to maybe pull forward so the palms are facing forward and the shoulders begin to roll back just a little. Find some breath here. Find some softness and strength all in the same. Okay? Allow your head to be tall up to the crown. Find an inhale and an exhale. Feel the belly engage. Belly button pulls back. And then feel yourself kind of just soften as you exhale. Take it a few more times as we begin to start to get a groove on, right? On the next inhale, allow your arms to rise tall. Go ahead and bend into the knees, kind of settle down, stretch the arms up just a little taller. You feel the arm heads actually pull up from the arm socket. Then go on and just kind of settle them back in. So see how my shoulders, my arms go up? Just kind of settle them back down and really find some room in the back side of the body. Do that a couple times. As you bend into the knees, kind of hold the knees together and start to activate the lower part of the body as well. So we were kind of working into everything, but we're taking it in steps. Take it one more time. And then go on and take yourself a swan dive down. Now I said go on and find some blocks, so let's do that pretty quickly here. And just allow them to stay pretty close up to the front of the mat, okay? Let your hands just rest right on them, or whatever you've used for blocks, right? They don't necessarily have to be blocks. Although I did get some pretty cool new props for home the other day, so I'm super excited. Let your head hang. Really find the spine gets really, really long. Your hands kind of ground here. And then I want you to inhale with your fingertips on the blocks or whatever you're using and start to lift in through the arms. As you do this, feel the shoulders externally rotate down. So you can feel that backside do that, okay? And then go on and let yourself come down a little bit more. I want you to inhale up to a halfway lift and go on and let the left leg come back and drop the knee. Let's come into this low lunge here just for just a second and just let the hips start to ground in. Find a nice 90-degree, adjust your blocks if you need them, and just let your hands kind of just rest, okay? It's more about an opening in through this area of the hip, in this area of the butt. Then go on as you exhale, push the leg long here, stretch into the front of the foot for a moment, and then draw back into the Ardha Hanuman. Keep the hips square, draw back. Come on back, lift into the back knee, come back up to the front of the mat. Come into your halfway lift. Exhale, fold, head hangs, and then as we lift up halfway, take the right leg back, drop the knee. Same deal over here, you know where we're going, right? Find your nice 90-degree in this front leg. Square up through the foot. Make sure that your hips are square enough so you don't feel like you're going to topple over. And maybe you might. Go on to let it kind of open. Let your hips kind of hang. Yeah, and then when you're ready, go on and draw the hips back. Foot is square and flat. Here, I'll show you here. Right? And then draw the toes back towards the shin and really start to feel that happen in the back side of the leg. I love practicing with blocks because I have short everything, but my arms are short too. So it really finds a whole different way to practice when you have an extra, 3 or 4 inches on the ends of your hands. Let your hands ground, knee lifts. Come back into a plank this time and let your hands stay on these blocks, okay? So I want you to feel the hips start to square up in the front, and you're going to feel softness in the elbows. Now start to draw those elbows back. Keep them close to the rib cage and push up. Ooh, yeah, right? Start to activate everything. Heels are drawing back. One more time. Push up. Draw down. Push back, drop the knees. Come back into child's pose here. Hands still on these blocks. Find all kinds of room in the armpit and underneath. Maybe your toes touch. Maybe you have enough room to where your forehead can meet the earth. Mine's not going there. It's almost there, but not quite. Find length in the arms. Oh, feels so good. Inhale, wave the spine up. Now, let the hips drop. Hands are still on the blocks. Hips are dropping. Shoulders roll back this time. Chest lifts. So you feel the front side of the hips are not as grounded as they normally are as when you come into Cobra. Do it nice and gentle. And then push yourself back. Round up and play with this. Don't feel like you have to leave your hands on the blocks. I'm going to try it. I'm going to come up into my down dog. Right? Whole different scenario here, right? So come up to the toes, drop into the heels, let your head hang. You might find that your hands are slipping a little bit on the blocks. Just make sure that you're careful. I keep my blocks all the way grounded down so that way they don't go shooting across the room. Go on, bend into the knees, and this is super fun. Here, let's jump up to the top, okay? So here, you're halfway lift. Give yourself a forward fold. Wave the arms up. Hands come to your heart center. Set an intention here. Maybe it's just to make it through the next 45 minutes. Arms sweep up. Hinge at the hips. Hands meet the block again. Take that left leg back. Come into that low lunge. One more time. Hands are rested. Sit down, old girl. Let the hips ground. Settle back. See if you can kind of walk the fingers back, right? Move it back into the Adho Hanuman. Draw back. Hands plant. Lift the leg. Now here, let's kind of give it a little twist here. We're going to add on. So take the right hand up off the block. Start to square up into the shoulders. Give a little twist and stack in, reaching up to the fingers. Pull the belly in. Let the arm come up overhead. Swing it back down to the block. Come back into that plank, right? Bring it down. Find your back bend. Let your knees hit first. Raise up through the front. See if you can find a little bit of lift. It's almost like getting into that up dog without having to try as hard. Go on, curl the toes, push on back. Inhale. Exhale, jump to the front. You find so much more air. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. This time, right leg back, drop the knee. You know where we are. Hips, walk back, right? Settle in. Push back. Straighten that leg, curl the toes back. Bring it down, lift the knee. Let's find our twist here. So let's settle into the hips. Let's square up into the shoulders, right? I like to watch my arm here because I always feel like I'm way back here. See how much you can get yourself out and turning through the torso to get the arms up and open. All right? Take a breath here. Exhale, let the arm extend out over. So you're pushing out through the heel. You're pushing out through the fingers. Let that arm meet the block. Bring it back into this plank. All right? Bend the elbows. Chest comes down. Sweep up. Find your back bend here. If the blocks are too much for you, lose them. Just ditch them. Push it back. Down dog. So, bring yourself to the top of the mat. Have fun. Jump forward. So, take the blocks a little bit closer. I was playing earlier today, and I found this to be a little bit easier when we do our toe turns, right? So find the blocks are right here in front of the shins. I want you to put your shins and your knees on the front of these blocks. Let your toes turn under and then sit back. So don't forget about that little pinky. So sit back and tell me, do you think that it feels better on the feet instead of, like, you know, we always say that, like, you're going to hate me after we do this one? You probably won't hate me as much after this, right? Because it doesn't hurt too bad as much. It doesn't seem like it's as much pressure into the foot. So shoulders are rolling back. You feel the head lift up, really stack up tall. Inhale. Exhale out the mouth. Inhale. Exhale out the mouth. Bring the hands down. Let the legs come straight back. Come into a regular plank here. Slide my notes over. All right, so we're in a plank. I want us to draw the right knee in and bring it back. Now draw the left knee in and bring it back. Push yourself back into this down dog. If you want the blocks, they're still right here in front of you. Maybe you need to move them a little bit. Might have to play with them a little bit to find the space. All right? Carefully lift into the right leg. Bring it in. One more three-legged dog. Now, we're going to kind of come into this iron cross. Start to set the knee down behind the left block and come into the hip. Push out. Okay? Uncurl the foot in the back if you need. And just give a quick push. Push the arms back. Chest lifts. Belly pulls in. Really feel it through the outside of the right hip. Let the hands come to the mat here. It's going to let you feel more stable. Curl the toes under. Sweep it back up. Find your three-legged dog. Bend, twist, and open. Let the leg come down. Find your hands meet those blocks if you want a little bit more of a challenge. Let yourself come down. Find the back bend. Oh, settle down. Hold the belly in so you protect that low back. Curl the toes, lift back. Okay? Left leg's gonna lift. Definitely more difficult with the blocks under you. Bring it in. Bring it back. This time when we bring it in, we're going to go on and we're going to shoot it over here. We're going to shoot our leg over. Back leg kind of extends. Find the twist here. Lift. Feel here. Push through both feet. Don't let yourself feel like you're getting lazy in the feet. My feet are totally flexed, like I'm pushing the wall away. My shoulders are lifted and twisted. Right? So I twist enough to where I'm square up into the front. Inhale. As you exhale, bring your hands down off the blocks just so you don't go shooting them. And then start to bring the leg back. Find that three-legged dog one more time. Then twist it open. Let yourself meet and square up here. Drop the knees. Settle back. Find child's pose. Take a breath. Inhale it in and exhale it out. As we inhale up this time, I want us to find our hands back on the blocks. Curl the toes. And we're going to come into this down dog shape. But also, again, I was playing around, and I was finding this speed skater thing. Like I felt like I was speed skating. Like, you know, when you see them kind of come back. So draw the knee to the back of the elbow, and just keep bringing it back 3 or 4 times. Finding this shape. Use the breath. Find that Ujjayi breath where you sound like Darth Vader. One more each side. Push back. Hop forward. This time, toes open, hips drop. Come in to a goddess squat. All us mamas are goddesses, aren't we? All right, we have to own our space. Let the elbows come to the insides of the knees. I want you to push the legs open just a little bit if that feels comfortable. These blocks are here. If you want them here underneath your butt, go on for it, right? Give yourself a breath. Push back into the blocks, lift up. Take an alternate straight leg, bent knee, kind of wake the hips side to side. Keeping that low back nice and loose. Again, find the speed skater deal. So the hands are here. Draw the knee. You got to find yourself to be a little bit wider here. Draw in. So you're almost in a down dog. Find a little kind of curtsy, like you're skating. You're working the arms. You're working the shoulders. You're working the abs. Take it a few times. Push back, down dog. Kind of forward fold, down dogish. Feel here. Let the shoulders hang. Come up top of the mat. Feet open. Come back into that goddess. I want you to feel that the hips are really opening. Again, allow the hands to kind of spread here. The hips are opening up. Take the left hand down. Block is here if you need it. And go on and open up to the right side. Same thing on the other side. Right hand drops. Take it open. Twist it. Bring it in. Straighten up those legs. Take a flip. Come on back. Chaturanga. Bring it through. Knees can drop or not. And hang here. Find kind of like this hanging cobra. Maybe even curl the toes up under this time. And find a little sway in the hips side to side. Soft elbows. Careful with the low back. Pull that belly in. Push back, down dog. Right leg lifts. Bend, twist open. This time we're going to bring it back into that iron cross, but we're not staying. So drop, push, bring it back up, three-legged dog. Right foot lands, left side, lift, come here, push it through, iron cross. Strong, strong, strong leg, strong, strong, strong arm. Back up. Jump forward. Forward fold. Hang and rest for a minute, soft knees. You can let yourself wiggle out. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Come on back. Left leg goes back. This time we're staying in to a high lunge here. Fingers are here. Bring your blocks up one more time, depending on how long your arms are. Okay? Settle down. Let the hips ground. Okay? Start to feel your weight push up and just play with that. A couple times. Lift in through. Drop down. Let's find our twist. I'm giving you hints. Do you know where we're going? All right. Push it back. So same kind of Ardha Hanuman, but our legs are raised now. So come on back. Foot grounds. Left meets right. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Right leg goes back. Find your stance. Find your stance. Left foot is grounded, so find some air here. Lift up. Lift up. Like, it looks like little donkey kicks, kind of. Settle back in. Find your twist. Open up. I will get my arms straight one of these days. There we go. Settle in. All right. Bring it down. Right meets left. Forward fold. Let it hang here for a second. Just let it out. Shaking through the arms. Halfway lift. Exhale. Bring your blocks in front. Find your goddess. Take a squat. It sounds funny, doesn't it? Take a squat. Heels in, toes out. Hold in. Pull into this area here. Arms kind of work the legs open just a little bit more, drawing into the belly. Let's go on and straighten up the legs and kind of sit back down. Bring it up and sit back down. Arms can float. Bring it up, bring it down. One more. Bring up. All right. So as we're here, bring the toes in forward. Kind of hop them in. Arms come up. Take right hand, left wrist. Take a crescent. Bring it back into center. Take it to the other side. And back into center. Hands swim down, float down. Then they plant. Bring it back into a plank pose here. Okay. We are here or here. All right? You might be bored with that already. Bring the knee into the chest. Find that iron cross. Take it down. Bring it through. Bring it back. Take it here. This side. Bring it back. Do it one more time. Really open up. Really work the whole body here. Bring it back. Knees ground. Bring it back. Find your child's pose. Arms are long. Catch your breath. Wave it up. Push it back. Walk it out. Okay. So here we go. We're going to start going into a standing split. Start with the blocks pretty even. You might have one a little bit up further than the other. So find the right leg comes right underneath the hip. The right hand is maybe a half a handprint more forward. I want you to square up into the hips here. I want you to push through both of the heels, drawing in, and get your spine as long and flat as you can. Okay? Push into the blocks. Push into your feet. Make it long. Even though the standing leg is straight, you still have some freedom in that knee. Bring it down. Kind of hover in and squeeze in. And then change the blocks just a little bit. And we're going to do that, and we're going to start to warm up on this side. So come into that standing split. Left hand is going to be a little bit more forward. Standing left leg is strong. Pushing and squaring those hips up. So the front of the hips feel like they're parallel with the floor. Okay? Push that foot back. Push that foot down. right? Feel it all the way through here. Bring it in. Plant the foot. Come into a halfway lift. Exhale, let yourself fall forward. If you want to flow here, let's do one. Bring it down. Lift into the chest. Let those hips drop. Elbows are strong but not locked. Curl the toes, bring it back. Okay. Right leg comes forward. We're adding on. So coming back into that standing split. Okay. Making sure all my things stay where they need to here. Let's go on. Push into that right leg. Extend out through the left foot. Hips are square. Now we're going to bend the knee and we're going to start to stack in and kind of candy cane that top leg. All right. Feel the balance in the blocks. You may be long enough to do this without blocks. I'm not. Square it up. Bring it down. Curl in. Let it long, flat back. Curl in again. Left leg is going to go standing strong. Hands are on the blocks. Start in your standing split. Get yourself straight and flush and strong. Then bend into the knee. Then start to open. You might take a look underneath the armpit on the left side as your heel kind of draws back. Really opening up through the hip. Let the leg come down. Meeting the other. Round in. Shake, shake, shake. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Root down, rise up, bring it up, stretch it up. Right hand, left wrist, take a crescent. Grounding into both feet. Bring it through. I'd like to check in with my knees. Bring it down. Forward fold. Let's do it again. We're going to flow through one more time. Hands come to blocks if that's what you want. Give yourself a jump back. Hips parallel. Arms tug into the thighs. They just hug in. Knees can drop. Find your back bend. Give it time. Let's make sure that your shoulders aren't up into the ears, that they roll back. And all of a sudden, look, I just grew up a whole bunch. Curl the toes. Ground back. Hop up middle of your mat. Right foot grounds. Left foot parallels up. Hips are square. Start here. I like to kind of move my blocks a little bit one in front of the other. It helps me with my balance. I'm going to bend my knee. I'm going to open back up. Hey, guess where I'm going here? Instead of having my foot totally straight, I might click my heel out a little bit. When I find this Ardha Chandrasana here, I'm finding this hat moon. I'm going to let my leg come straight. I might even bring my arm all the way tall. Yes. Hold it. Your body's going to tremble. Don't give in. Head is long. If it's too much for your arm to be straight, bring it to your hip. Find what works for you. Hold it one more breath. Inhale. Exhale. Bring it all in. I want you to kind of squeeze it all in. Hands plant. Foot grounds. Find a release in the hip. So bend and straighten each opposite leg. Okay? How are we doing? All right? Man, I wish you guys could answer me. I can't wait to see your faces and hear your voices. I told Andrea the other day, my stand-up is going to the, I can't say where I said where it was going. It wouldn't be polite. Let your head hang. Halfway lift. We're going to flow through. Make sure your blocks are square if you're using them still. Bend those elbows, bring it down. Knees meet the mat, uncurl the toes, lift up, roll back. Find that room. Bend soft elbows, toes turn, down dog. Halfway up the mat. Yay, we're here. Okay. Let's do it on the left side. Left side might be different than the right. All right. We are starting in our standing split. Left leg is strong, hips are square. Really feel right here. Really feel the roots of your foot grounding in. Bend the knee. Stack the hips. Start to come into this shape. See if you can draw this block in a little bit. As your weight kind of turns, your heel might click out a little bit. Let your leg come straight. Start to stack into your body. Start to let the shoulders even up. Push out through the hand, push out through the foot, push out through the other foot, standing leg. Ooh, find it, belly's drawn in. Drawing in towards the spine. Long. One more breath, you got it, come on. One more breath. Exhale, draw it all in, nice and slow, be kind to yourself. Bring the right next to the left, find that shimmy. How are we doing here now? Lifting halfway. Exhale, forward fold, take a ragdoll. I want your heels to open up. I want your head to drop. Opposite hand, opposite elbows. Find a sway like it's your elephant trunk. Let the hips go side to side. Okay. Let's flow it in one more time. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Toes turn out. Hips drop. Come back into your goddess squat. One more time. No wardrobe malfunctions. Get yourself together. Arms open. Knees open. Ground in. Squeezing, pulling up through here and out. Okay? Draw the blocks a little closer. All right, we're taking right hand, right block. Open up. Your hips should be feeling good. Change sides. Round in. Let it come long. One more time. Round in. Push through the hands, push through the feet. Come long. Wide-legged forward fold. Head is heavy. Knees are soft. Let the torso rest on the tops of the thighs, okay? So you really feel this and this touch. Bend your knees as much as you need to. Even see if you can maybe even interlace your fingers behind you. And then stretch out through the leg. Hands dropping. And man, does that feel good in the spine. Inhale. Exhale. Shoulders are feeling like the compression is just getting lost. It's just flowing out of the top side of the body. One more. One more. All right. Hands plant. Let's flow. Bring it back. Chest comes down. Bring it up. Find some strength in that low back. Belly's pulling in. Arms are getting soft. Don't forget about your form, about your foundation. Shoulders are rolling back. Curl the toes. Bring it back. Down dog. Halfway. Jump. Let yourself come. Hips are going to float back. Arms are going to get long. Kind of like that same shape in child's pose. Heads long. Right leg standing strong. Square up. Okay, we've been here twice already. So we are going to stack. We are going to come back into this Ardha Chandrasana one more time. This half moon. All right. Ma'am, you're here. See if you can find some air. Right? Stretch it out. Maybe. Maybe not. If you touch down, just come back. No big thing. Push out. I feel like I can find my balance a little bit more when I'm not concentrating so much on my balance, but I'm using my props, my props to help me get to where I need. Curl in. Bring it back out. One more. Curl it in. One more. Woo! Bring it out. Get a little momentum. You start to go too fast. Bring it in. Foot plants, rounded. Curl the chin into the chest. Head, forehead meets that little V spot of the knees. Legs straight. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Let's do it on the other side. Left leg, stand strong. Standing split, start here. Square up, beautiful. Bend in, stack up. Right, here we go. Kind of in that candy cane shape. Go on. Leg extends, arm may raise. Find it, float it. See if you can maybe even come up to your fingertips. Push out. Maybe if you get just even a second, right? Push out. It's hard to find balance when you're talking too. Stack up. Ooh. Maybe that's my problem. I never stop talking, that's why I can't find balance. Go on, let the foot come down. And then ground in. We're going to do that curtsy. Bring it up. One more. Push it out. One more. Reel it in. Foot drops now. Now drop down. Ground in. Let's bring these blocks back together. Let's drop our shins here, or even the front of our knees, and curl our toes back up and under us again. Let's take a break. Let's take a second. Just because it's challenged doesn't mean that you have to take it to the ultimate edge, right? Although doing this with your feet is kind of taking it to an ultimate edge, isn't it? Let yourself really set back. You know, we're always like this. See how much you can stack up tall. Pull in through here. Pull up through this part. Shoulders are rolling back. Maybe even let's take our arms up above our head. Take the hands, interlace the fingers, turn the palms up. Ooh, stretch out. Shoulder blades roll down the back. So see how my arms kind of, my tops of my shoulders are pulling up into my ears, and now I'm going to drop them down. Find a little crescent. Come back into center. Take it to the other side. Come back into center. Undo the fingers, wave them down. You forgot all about your toes being like this, didn't you? Yes, you did. See, I tricked you in a good way. Let the feet come on and flat. All right. Knees come down off the blocks. Set them just right where they are. Arms can come right to them. Let's come into a flat back, into hands and knees, right? Or hands and forearms. Let's find some cat and cow here. Drop the belly, hips roll, shoulders roll back, neck is long. Push in, round in, tuck the belly in, shoulders externally rotate again. Belly draws in. Curl the toes. Maybe you had enough of that. Let the toes be flat. One more time. Find some movement into the hips. Let it be free. Let it just work the way it's supposed to. All right? Maybe draw to the opposite sides. Just find those spaces. All right. I'm always forever taking fuzz off of my mat. Let the hands come up, or the blocks come up a little bit. Hands are going to be right behind the blocks. Lift into your down dog. Your heels should probably come down to the ground pretty easily at this point. Bend into the knees if they don't. Feel the outsides of the heels drawing apart as the hands push away. Hips are raising right up to the sky. Head is super low. All right. Right leg lifts. Bring it up. Bend, twist, and open. One more time because you didn't have enough before. Peek underneath that left shoulder. See how much you can draw that heel back. Oh, strong, strong, strong. Don't forget to not lock out that standing leg. Bring it long. We are coming into pigeon, friends. So start to draw in. Back of the knee to the outside edge of the pinky on the right hand. Settle back. Heel, make sure the heel kind of squares up with the ceiling. And find placement for your hips. We're going to stay here for a second now. We're kind of going to come down into a cool down a little bit. Flex into the foot here. okay? Let your hands come to your blocks. They should be right in front of you. Now, allow yourself to draw back from the back side of the head. The shoulders are rolling back. So see how much room I just got up into the front side of my chest when I did that? My hands can push away here. And I can take a second. And I might even be able to wiggle my front leg out a little bit more. Ooh, look, my block is in the way. I'm going to kind of move it to the side. And maybe out a little bit. Oh yeah, right? When you push out through this, you know when you hear me say that dot on the bottom of the foot, on the bottom of the foot and the heel? Right there. Push out. As soon as I do that, I feel it right in the outside of my hip. Now let yourself come down. Bring yourself into prayer here with your hands. And I want you to start to drop the head down and take a prayer back behind you. Your forearms are going to be meeting on the back side of the ear on the skull. Find space here. Kind of push the back of your head back up into your hands. As your fingertips meet, allow some length to happen in the back side of the neck. I mean, you should feel the spine getting even longer. Inhale. Exhale out. Inhale. One more. Hands come down. Hands come back. Ooh, I'm feeling that in my hips like crazy. It feels good. Here, let's bend into the knee. All right. I'm tight in my hip sometimes. I know it seems weird, but I get tight in the back side of my hip and I get tight in my quad. I'm going to try to reach around here. I'm going to use this block here to kind of push me up. So that way I have more leverage to find my space here. And I am opening up through my chest. I am flexing through my foot and I am trying to stack into my shoulders. I'm finding a beautiful twist here. I'm pushing the top of my foot into the base of my hand and I am lifting up. And I'm stretching all of this out through here. Let it happen. Go on, release. Let yourself come down. Come up into whatever you need to get yourself out of pigeon. Always not so graceful, right? But the leg come around, and I want you to really find some movement in the hips. Whatever you need to kind of reset into the right side. I kind of like to just kind of rock it over to the other side. Okay. Hands plant, curls toe. Toes curl. How about that? That would be a little better, right? Heels drop. Hips lift. Head is. Inhale. Left leg reaches up to the sky. Heel drops. Bend, twist, and open your biggest yet. Peek underneath that right arm, underneath that right armpit. Strong. Square it up. Drop into your pigeon. Take your time, right? Takes a second to get to the right spot. It's okay, lift, lower. If you need a block underneath your bum, you got it here, right? Just kind of prop yourself up wherever you need. Biggest thing is to make sure that the hips are kind of squared up into the front. And you start to flex into that foot. And you make sure that your back heel ain't just doing whatever it wants to. You want the heel pointing up towards the ceiling. Push into the blocks, draw the shoulders back, hug the belly in, long through the back side of the neck. We just worked so hard to get all that space in the back side of our shoulders and our head and our neck. So I'm really grounding the top of my extended leg in. I'm really flexing through this front foot here. Bring yourself to your forearms. Give yourself a second, a breath round or two here. Make any necessary adjustments you need. Do not be afraid of your edge. However, do not push past that. If it ever feels that uncomfortable where it's unbearable, you should not be in that space. You're doing more harm than good. A little edge, a little awareness, right? That sounds like a nice word to use. Awareness here. Let yourself drop down to those elbows again. We want our chest to come down. We're interlacing our fingers behind our head. And we're going to draw the hands back into this prayer behind the back of our thumbs are kind of lining up down the back of the neck. And then the heel of our hand is right underneath that occipital ridge of the head. I want you to feel the arms sink, the head pushes back and long. It's almost like self-traction for the neck. Let your body settle in. One more breath. Unwind your hand. Let yourself sink in. Hands reach the block. Come on up. Enjoy all of the space. Hands are going to come down to the ground here because we're going to come on back. Let that leg do what it needs to do. Let that hip, man, we opened it up big time today. So find some space in there. Find some more room to even out both sides. All right. Make sure you feel even. Draw the booty back towards the heels. Come long. Come into child's pose. Child's pose variation, right, with the arms long. Traditional child's pose, we are here, right? Reaching for the heels. If you like that, try that too. Your chest might flatten out here. And then you can lift into the forehead and reset it. And then all of a sudden you're like, yep, I have a whole bunch more space. One breath out through the mouth. Take your hands in front of your knees. Draw yourself back up. Let's come to our bumps. Find your booty. Take your hand to each cheek. Draw it back. Draw back. Bring. So coming into cobbler's pose, right? And we come here. And I always feel like the first thing I want to do is make sure that my feet are like opening up like a book, which feels very good. But try this. And if you don't have the bandwidth and your knees are up, I want you to put a block, one of those blocks in between your feet, okay? Either way, I want you to push the soles of the feet together, all right? And see how that feels in the inner thigh here. Really push it, draw all the energy into the center space here, like into this area here, into that, back into that root chakra one more time. You're sitting up very tall. You're pushing the legs. Now we're gonna draw them in. Let the hips draw side to side. Massage for the butt. Bring it side to side. All right. Here we go. Let your bum come to your heels and let yourself come down to the ground. Roll it back. Knees draw in, Apanasana, wind relieving pose. You're home, nobody would know, right? Draw the tops of the thighs into the belly. And just kind of give it some compression. Feet are flexed. And then you start to draw the knees outward a little bit towards the armpits. Take a second. Knees draw back in, feet meet the earth. Draw the knees side to side, just wiper, wiper. Keep that low back happy. We took a lot of deep back bends with those blocks being underneath our hands. Knees center. You can draw the knees together and let the feet fall apart. Take a breath. Hands are down or hands are up, whichever you need. You can stay here for Shavasana. My dog is snoring again. I put her to sleep every time I teach. Or find your legs, extend. Let yourself become long. Maybe even the palms turn up. Shoulders settle back behind the body. Notice what you notice after your practice. Gentle air through the nose, down the back of the throat, out through the nose. Feel like the chest inflates. Inhale in through the nose. And exhale out the nose. One more. Find your natural breath. Nothing forced, nothing labored. Please, 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 please stay here as long as your evening allows you to. I, however, am going to wrap up the practice. So I'm going to begin to draw my knees into my chest. Walk my hips out from underneath me. You can do this when you're ready. I'm going to let my knees fall to one side and I'm going to bring myself up. Come into my comfortable seat. Bring my hands into prayer. My thumbs are pushing into my heart chakra, here into my heart, into my chest. I feel my breath graze across the tops of my fingers, reminding me so subtly that the mind, the body, and the breath are all connected. So simply. With so much complexity too, right? Thank you, thank you, thank you for meeting me again on Saturday evening in my house with my dog snoring. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms tomorrow, today, tomorrow. Hopefully you get a whole weekend out of it instead of just one day. You deserve it, right? For all the husbands and dads out there, make sure that you treat them with all the love and respect that they deserve. We will be together again, so let's just stick it out as long as we can and stay focused and keep coming to our breath and keep coming to our mat. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You can always come to Namaste's webpage, and there are places for donations if you feel the need that you've been dropping into a few classes and you'd like to give back a little bit. If not, if you're in that situation where you can't do that, it's not a big deal. It all works out in the long run. Okay? As we each trudge our road to our own happy destiny, may you find love and joy and peace and hope and happiness. Until we do this again. Namaste.